Alright guys, Kenny B here from Cities and Suburbs. Another quick rah-rah video, if such a thing exists. Thank you for the non-copyrighted music from our friends over at YouTube. And I appreciate that. Really nice violin. Let it sink in tonight, that's for sure. So much going on, guys. Let's start off at a local level. Kenny B here, Cities and Suburbs on YouTube. You can also check out my page on Facebook, which also goes by Cities and Suburbs on Facebook. Anyway, gas prices seem back up. First day of spring yesterday. I'll take first day of spring today, March 21st. So in 3 months, 90 days, if you will be summer, first day of summer. So we're turning the corner, but I don't think it was like a really brutal winter. I mean, we had our stuff we had to deal with, but nonetheless, here we are. And what's the difference, between 1 year to the next 2 years ago, as of last week on March 15th, by the way, the first case of COVID was detected in Massachusetts. 3 days later, everybody was sent home, stay home, work from home. Some people are still working from home. Some companies are having their employees stay home and work from home. That's crap. Get back to the office, be person to person, and be face to face. Okay? I mean, the only people that should work from home are people when you call customer service and, my internet's not working and things like that. They could work from home, but they probably don't work from home. They have to report to a location with 200 other folks who are taking calls from irate customers because their cable went out. Which, anyway. But, if you're a business, you should be in person. If you're an in-person business and working with people, you should be in your office, getting in your vehicle. Okay? Now, that being said, is it cost effective to work from home? You can ask the people who do that, because I'll never do it. My home is my home, and my work and employ is somewhere else, and I will never mix the two. It's oil and water, in my opinion. Gas prices right now in Massachusetts seem to be holding at regular, $4.26 and 9/10, which is $4.27 a gallon. For the next grade up is about $4.60 and 1/10, so $4.61 for 89 octane and $4.82 for super. And I know people who own vehicles and who have to have that a high test in there because their engines go knocking, and they're not American vehicles, by the way. So yeah, two years since the COVID locked us all down. Now we're all climbing back out of the ooze. I was just looking real quick here. It looks like the 7-day positivity rate in Massachusetts right now is 1.68%. So there are still people succumbing to COVID, but it's not COVID any longer, guys. It's not COVID. I mean, former President Barack Obama had COVID, but he had a chill. I mean, we need to classify this virus, strain, if you will, as what it is. COVID-19 just brings post-traumatic stress disorder to people. We're trying to move ahead. Okay? I'm not dismissing that. There's so many viruses out there right now. This is just becoming on par. SARS, if you will, 2021, is becoming on par with the regular flu. Which, by the way, I got a flu shot this year. Now I'm hearing that was a miss. It was, not really effective against this year's strain. And I can understand that. There were so many flus floating around. Who the hell knew what you were, trying to fend yourself or defend yourself from. But the average age right now from COVID-19, this is mass.gov, Massachusetts websites. I'm telling you, man, they just uh, they need a new webmaster. But COVID-19, the average age succumbing was 77 or is 77 years old. So I'm going to dump this off because there's so many things to pay attention to. And it's quickly, as a human species, we move on. 2 years ago, we're told to stay home, shut up, and do, what you're told to do. Wear a mask, don't wear a mask. But Major League Baseball is back, finally, after like a 90-something day lockdown. Everybody got what they want, and we're back on track with Major League Baseball. It's losing fans. Baseball is losing fans, and it really, I don't know, speeding the game up, clock. I'm a purist. I don't agree with any of that. So, anyway, so go into the crisis in the Ukraine. Do you guys know that the city of Kiev, if you will, Kiev, is a city of about 2,962,000 people. It's the most populated city in Eastern Europe, home to industrial, scientific, educational, and cultural center. When it was under the rule or under the auspice of the Soviet Empire, its big industry was the defense industry in armaments. And, and since then it was so dependent upon the military economy. We have many cities and towns throughout the United States, by the way, who are so dependent on a military economy, whether it's just having a base there, whether you're, oh God, what was that company that, not Digital, but Raytheon, that makes the Patriot missiles back in the day. There's certain sectors of the country that, do well and prosper under making armaments, and that was the Kiev. Now, it seems like so the Russians are moving, they're stalling, but the Russians, don't sell them short. I mean, if they could pummel, if they had the will, they could cripple Kiev. No time at all. They could just walk right in there and level it. Not in their best interest politically, that's for sure. And also too, they didn't. The Russian army did not, and the War Department in the Russia. It's still under the old. It's still under the old guard with Putin there. But I don't think they expected a pushback from Ukraine. They thought that we'll just capitulate, but no. I mean, the Ukrainian army is hundreds of thousands strong. Every person in that country right now, sovereign country, by the way, has taken up some kind of arms against Russia. It doesn't mean bang, bang, you're dead arms. It could be, I'm hacking your radio, I'm slicing your tires, I'm throwing a Molotov cocktail at. We are not going to make it easy for you. We're going to make it urban warfare. Urban warfare is house to house, room to room, very exhausting for any. Look at America back when we were, stupidly invading Iraq. You had to go urban combat, and urban combat is exhaustive, unpredictable, and the psychological warfare that comes with urban combat is no different than our kids faced in Vietnam. You never knew what was around the next jade tree, palm tree, bush, rainstorm, river. You just didn't know. I mean, there's a difference in warfare now. Go back to The Patriot and Mel Gibson, and all the British Army lining up and volleying back and forth, and there was almost this code of conduct. There's no code of conduct anymore, you know. But Russia wants what it wants, and its big prize is Kyiv. It is the political seat of Ukraine, and so what they want to do is be able to. A lot of their troops now are entrenched in certain cities around Ukraine, and they want those cities to surrender. And then they can move those troops, right, over from those areas, secure those areas, but move the troops and create a flank around Kyiv. So there is a strategy, and the Russians can do it. But they also, you know, their economy's been, you know, knocked back into the 1930s. So we, so we're seeing every night on the nightly news. Let's bring it back home a little bit, though. We still have a war here in the United States, and I won't even call it a war. That's presidential terms. The war on poverty, the war on crime, the war on this, the war on drugs. Always at war. But just year to date, I mean, Chicago has 100, this was from yesterday, so I guarantee this is 115 homicides since the beginning of the year, January 1. January, February, March, guys. 3 months. Do the average. 115 people, probably as of today, 120 plus people. These are homicides. A lot of them are gang related, drug related, and there's mothers out in Detroit, Chicago, Cleveland, Worcester, you know, that cry every night for their generally a young adult male, and that has been shot or killed, you know, or shot and killed, you know. And then you have all the incidental people involved with that, right? So, you know, there's war, and then there's war, and there's America still has its problems here at home. Sometimes internationally we can look at and, you know, dry our eye for what's going on in the Ukraine in this case. But do we do that really to look at the conditions of our inner cities, the trash, low-income areas, particularly in Worcester, old housing inventory, over 100 years old, with landlords who just rent, that don't take care of their property, people living in poverty in this country. You know, so we have issues in this country as well that we need to fix. So let's take some of those wet eyes and turn them this way, and we can support our friends in the Ukraine and abroad. You know, it's funny, or it's coincidental who we choose to be allied with in terms of an emotional response. 40, 50 years ago, the Ukraine was part of the Soviet Union, and no one would have blinked an eye about whatever happened in the Ukraine. But I think it resonates with the American cowboy, you know, spirit is let's go get them. You know, fighting for what's right is right. So I think Americans identify with that. And but let's just remember, we have our own struggles here at home. We need better jobs, good jobs, right? Fair paying jobs, you know, and let's spread that around, because right now we're just becoming a welfare state, and we just can't do that. You know, a healthy body is a healthy body, and a healthy body and a healthy mind is a mind and body that has an ability to be able to, an opportunity to go out there and produce for themselves. So anyway, guys, just a quick check-in here from Cities and Suburbs, and any comments, comment below, follow me below, Just click on the like button, the dislike button. I really don't care what your comments are. I use this venue to connect with you. Anything that I say, even if it's just one-tenth of what I say resonates with you, comment below. God bless, guys, and we'll certainly see you next time on Citizen Suburbs. Take care.